So last night around about 8:30, 9 p.m, what I believe was a massive whirlwind come howling through our yard and out the property here, ripping down trees and wreaking havoc right here at Martys Garden. Man, I'm telling you, I've never seen anything like this in my life come through so quick, and I'm pretty sure it's what you call a whirly or a whirlwind or something like that, because parts of the street aren't damaged. You can see here this big branch is down here on top of the part of the chicken coop. It missed the main part where they roost, thank goodness. And look, if you look up here, I don't know if you can see up here, that tree ripped in half, my friends, and I'll show you where it's sitting. It's wild, man. This is a big tree too. Look over there, look at that, half a tree. Just mental, yeah. Now, it has to be something like 200-kilometer winds to do something like that. And I had to run out and fix the chickens. Basically, they were scattered sort of around the roosting area, put them into another place and fix the roof up and stuff, and just make it dry enough for them to sleep for the night. A couple of other small trees sort of around up here, casuarinas and things, come down and ripped apart. Up the street, there's other trees like softwood trees, casuarinas and things, that look like they've been hit by a chainsaw. Now, I was looking at them going, how can that be such a good cut? But it must have been spinning that hard, somehow cutting through it. I just don't get it. It's like, I've never seen anything like it. Anyway, we're going to come round, and we'll come around this side here, and I'll show you more sort of what's going on. So this guy here, straight down is a part of a small casuarina there. And excuse any of the bad filming, I'm just on the run and gun situation here and I can't see everything that I'm filming, but the backyard got all flooded first and there was a lot of rain. Now, it tore our marquee to pieces. Look at that, it's just ripped the frame. The frame's just all bent, buckled up. We had this here set up ready for camping and do some mini camping in the backyard, and it's done. That thing's gone. We might be able to use the cover for something, for covering something over, try and recycle that. Now, we're lucky the big gum tree didn't come down. Thank goodness, thank God for that. That would have come down right in our house, but it's a pretty strong tree. So the coop, so this big branch here, fell onto this run here, and it didn't break too many of the sticks. Well, these are actually tomato stakes, right? So, and the net's not open, so the girls can't get out. Thank goodness, otherwise I'd have another drama today. Where we were going to build the original coop, here we just started putting the poles in. So we come around here. It come through this spot here. So this would have been gone. We would have lost our chickens, I reckon. It would have just ripped the roof off or whatever we'd put on here, no matter what we'd done. I'm not good enough a builder to be able to build something so strong like that. And where we've got the sort of like the makeshift coop while we're getting the new coop ready, it survived. It handled the whole thing. And I just had to come out and fix the roof and sort of come through here and make sure they had got them off the ground and put them back on the roosts, things like that. And they were able to get through the night. We've given them a feed. They're a bit happier, but obviously anything like that, you'd be a bit distressed, right? Now, some of the garden, yeah, it's, you know, it's restorable. We can sort of fix it up and things, and there's not too many big issues, like nothing happened to the citrus trees and things like that. But I'll take you out to the front and show you. We had an owl that was nesting, and she nested there last year with a partner. They had a little baby. We were able to film and photograph it, the whole lot. Just a beautiful tawny frogmouth owl. Now, we were concerned about where she was nesting. Apparently, they're not the best nest makers. She nested on an old branch, an old broken branch, and it come down, which was up in this big casuarina up here. And She's gone. She's not nesting there now this season. And the branch fell down, just missed our car. So that was the branch she was nesting on, this one here. And it just missed our car. So it probably would have smashed the window. Man, crazy stuff. I'm going to take you up the street and show you. Now there's just branches and sticks and twigs and things over and things pulled out of the ground and all that type of stuff. Like I said, it's fixable. But if you look at part of this street, this is why I believe it was a whirly-whirly. Now, there's no information of it yet out yet, but it sort of finishes. It only goes through part of the street. Now, you can see like part of the neighbour's little tree is down here. But I'll take you to this spot. It's only a couple of doors up, where it really looks like someone has gone through with a saw. And I was down the street looking, and I was like, that looks like someone's been here the day before with a saw, with a chainsaw. And I'm like, that's odd, but parts of it have ripped off. How is that possible? They didn't come out last night. It was late at night. No one's come out at night with a chainsaw and started cutting it up. So anyway, we're going to head up here and I'm going to show you what's actually happened, because it's freaky stuff. So let's have a look here. So this is a part of this big tree that's come down here, right? Half of it's lost half the side there. And you can see it's fallen down onto here. So I'm trying to get it into the shot at the same time. And this is like a tea tree, right? Now, tea tree have a fairly soft wood, I believe, but I want to show you something here. Look at this. Now, if you've got an answer for this, I'd love to hear. Look at that cut there and there. See that cut? Where it's split? And then look at this. It's like I don't know. I'm making sure it's in the shot. And man, I'm telling you, it's just freaky. Like, look at this. And there's quite a few of those like that. Just perfect. Look like they've been sawn in half. Now, you can see here that is not the case, because look at this. You can see where it's just ripped those two branches right in half there, and it's come through and done it again here. As I said, it's down the street as well. Even these little ones here, look, perfect little cuts. And hopefully we're getting these here. Like perfect little cuts, like you'd been through it with a saw. If there's anyone that understands wood and storms and things like that, I'd love to hear what you think about it. It's really, really bizarre. I don't think anyone come through last night, cut that up like that, because it was late at night. I didn't hear any chainsaws. I was up. Really, really wild, man. Anyway, we'll keep heading down, and I'll show you another example down the road. Now, if we look up the street's clean right up there. There's hardly any. Just some leaves down, hardly any like major damage like it is here. And if you go down the street again further, which we're going to do, oh man, I'm telling you, like, this is the street. So the street's partly flooded. And this house over here, hardly anything at all, but they don't have hardly any trees. Then we come down here again. This tree at the front here, my neighbour's, is okay. Like, not much damage to it at all. But then my tree with the bird in it, that poor tawny frogmouth owl, had the baby in there, well, the nest in there with the eggs, I'd say. I'm going to come down, I'm going to show you another tree, just to prove the point that I'm not lying to you. This is really, really devastating stuff. And I reckon, so what happened was I was sitting in the lounge, I was doing some praise and worship, listening to some music, reading the Bible, and I could hear some storm stuff outside because I'd just been outside, heard some thunder and things like that. And then I was standing, and I hear this. I'm like, what's that sound? It was like, and it was like, not like whistling that you hear from wind. It was starting like that. And I was like, what is that? I'm like, is that a storm? And then it was, and there was this whipping sound as it whipped out, and it just went down. And oh man, it was scary. And my wife's been in typhoons, and she said it's like that for hours sometimes in the Philippines in typhoons. I said, oh man, that's freaky. I've been in some small cyclones, never anything like this. Look at that. Just rip that whole branch out there. And again, we'll come through, and I'll show you as we go through. It looks like saws. Now, I would have heard chainsaws. I'm pretty sure of it. Look at that. It's like something out of like I said, I don't really understand. It's like an alien come through and lasered our yard or something like that. Like, there's not just one, there's lots of them. And it's only on the tea tree. And it's split up. Like you can see there's a bunch of branches there. It seemed like at the other spot. And then there's another one way over here. So it's lifted it and go whoosh, and flew it over like a sail as it's done it. There's two lots there. Man, I'd really love to hear what you guys think about this. I'm sure many of you have experienced storms and things in the past as well. But I'll just let you know so I'm in Mullumbimby, just not far from the primary school, which is in northern New South Wales, Australia. And we're in the Byron Shire, and we're only about 5k back from the coast, so it could have been one of those water whirlies that comes straight across the paddock. It's what I'm trying to figure out. It's come straight across the paddock, so it's had an accelerated run off to go through and get acceleration and come through, hit the fence, and then just come through this yard and just spun down this street and just took off maybe. But I really don't know. I'm just sort of guessing, but it wasn't like one of those big spread out storms, otherwise the whole street would just be carnage, right? Anyway, that's it. I'm going to go out and I'll snap a few photos, do what I need to do, and start cleaning up. And yeah, the garden, so the front garden, which is the small space garden that we're building now for cost of living Victory Garden, we're going to call it now, is okay. So we'll keep filming there, guys, and we'll just keep plugging away. And if you haven't been watching the content about the Victory Garden, here it is here. We're going to help as many people as we can grow food in a small space, vertically, no digs, containers, things like that, mixing it all up in a tiny little space so people can start saving money at home. So anyway, gonna fly. Whew, Marty, we're signing out from Martys Garden after a pretty crazy evening. All right, bye for now.